Hey there, welcome back. My name is Katie if you're new to my channel, and this is Louisiana Cooking and Living, and we are trying to help you guys get prepared for Thanksgiving and giving you all kinds of ideas. Let me stop the dishwasher for a second. It makes a lot of noise. Help you get prepared for Thanksgiving, giving you new ideas of dishes that you can make. We have done some sides. You've probably already seen that video if you are following along. And if you don't follow along, you can go back and look at the previous video. We're giving you different ideas for sides. Instead of a green bean casserole, we did a crispy shallot bacon sauteed green bean. Instead of a sweet potato casserole, we did a maple garlic glazed roasted sweet potato. Instead of mashed potatoes, we did a dish called potato dauphinoise, which is kind of like an au gratin, but no cheese in it. It's got cream infused with thyme and rosemary and garlic. And then we did a corn casserole that was gluten-free. So if you want to go back and check that video out, I can leave that linked at the end of this video. And today we are going to be smoking a turkey breast. This is the bone-in breast of the turkey, and we're going to be smoking that with you guys today and making a stuffing or dressing, depending on if you're stuffing your bird or not. And it's gonna have breakfast sausage and apple in it. It's super yummy. So in order to get this turkey on the smoker, I need to make some more of my Cajun seasoning. I am out of it. So we're gonna start off making that seasoning, and then I'm gonna make our rub. Well, we're gonna coat the inside of the breast of the turkey with a butter seasoning mixture. So we're gonna make that, and we'll get this turkey on the smoker. I'll let my husband tell you what temperature and how long we're gonna be smoking this turkey. So let's get our Cajun seasoning mixed up. So this recipe is old. It is super faded. If you want to take a little screenshot of it, I do also sell this over on Etsy. My cayenne pepper, I got at a local spice house, and it is super hot. So I am going to be doing half the cayenne pepper in my blend today that I usually do. So we're going to start off with some black pepper. We need 1/8 of a cup. And you know what? This is just a go-by recipe. Sometimes I'm feeling like, I want more garlic than usual, so I add more garlic. So it's all just depends. So we're gonna start off with black pepper, about 1/8 of a cup. We need 1/4 of a cup of salt. I use Redmond real salt here. It has lots of minerals in it. It is mined in Utah. It's kind of like a pink Himalayan salt, but it's mined here. So we need 1/4 of a cup of salt. This is the bag. I can leave this linked in the description box. I get this on Amazon. I have it on subscription, so I get it regularly. We need 1/8 of a cup of garlic powder, and like I said, I think I'm going to be a little generous with that garlic. So almost 1/4 of a cup is what I'm putting in. We need 1/4 of a cup of onion powder. I get this from that same seasoned house. So we get 1/4 of a cup of this. And we need 1/8 of a cup of dry mustard. And then, like I said, the recipe calls for 1/3 of a cup, but I am doing about half of that of the cayenne pepper. No paprika in my recipe here. Most of the Cajun seasonings you buy in the store is mostly paprika, but mine is cayenne pepper, and this stuff is way hotter than the cayenne pepper you buy in the grocery store. All right, I'm gonna get a fork to stir this up because that ground mustard kind of gets clumpy. So this doesn't look very red like you typically see in the Cajun seasonings in the store, but like I said, that's mostly paprika, and usually mine is more red, but we're going easy on that cayenne pepper today. Sometimes Cajun seasonings have oregano, different herbs like that, but I'm I like a very general purpose Cajun seasoning. I feel like oregano is very limiting as to what you can put it on. All right, and I just have a shaker jar that I get at the Dollar Tree, which is no longer $1. And because I have no caking agents in my seasoning, I do keep this in the refrigerator here in Louisiana because of the humidity. It will kind of clump up. All right, I'm gonna leave probably about this much in here. So we're gonna say that's like a tablespoon and a half. Maybe we'll put a little bit more. We're gonna make our turkey seasoning in this measuring cup. Let me clean up my mess here and we will start making our seasoning. Actually, I'm gonna take you back to yesterday when we brined our turkey. We did brine it to make it extra juicy, although smoking it does make it juicy. But you can use this, a brined turkey for oven roasted turkey or anything. But we need to get that dried off so that our skin can get crispy. So let me get this cleaned up. I have 2 cups of water. I'm gonna be adding 4 tablespoons of salt, 2 tablespoons of sugar. This is going to be for a turkey breast bone-in brine. We also need half a teaspoon of peppercorns. Just give those a shake in there. We are going to be doing a whole bay leaf. And I'm going to put this in the microwave and bring this to a boil just to dissolve that salt. And I think I want to add a couple of cloves of garlic into here. I just have this already peeled garlic ready to go, and I am going to just give, let's see, 4 cloves here. We'll just give it a little smash on the counter and throw it in here. Releases those oils in there. So I'm gonna put this in the microwave for like 6 minutes to try and get this to, maybe 7 minutes to get this to a boil to dissolve all of that salt and sugar. That's all we're trying to do here. All right, I have my food safe container here that we are going to hopefully fit our turkey breast in here. This is turkey breast bone-in. You can buy boneless turkey breasts, and we have cooked those before, but today we are doing, or tomorrow we're going to be smoking this turkey breast. So I'm going to take this over to the sink because there's some liquid in here and I don't want it to pour out on the counter. And let me get this cleaned up, okay? So here's our turkey breast, and we don't want to put that hot boiling water on here. So we want cold water here also. So we're going to put 6 cups of cold water in here so that when we add that hot water, it doesn't start cooking our turkey. So let me grab 6 cups of cold water. That's 4, and I'm going to get 2 cups out of the fridge that's cold with ice. All right, this is 2 cups that are good and cold, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour those other 2 cups into this to make it chill pretty quickly. And pour it onto my spoon to try and reduce any splashing. You can see not all my salt had dissolved, but it will dissolve once we get it into all this water. All right. Give this a stir, make sure we're chilling it down. So we're going to brine this for 24 hours, and then we will smoke the turkey tomorrow and have a yummy turkey and dressing dinner tomorrow. I'm going to add a little bit of water to make sure we have covered our turkey all the way. So here's our little lid, and we're going to put her in the fridge until tomorrow when it's time to season her up and get her in the smoker. Pull our turkey out of the brine so it can start drying off. All right, so our turkey breast has been brining for about 24 hours. We're going to get this out of here and dry it completely off. peppercorn there. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands. I think I'm gonna get some more paper towels just to make sure it's completely dry. All right, I'm gonna wash my hands again. All right, so I'm gonna take some butter and I'm gonna not melt it completely in the microwave, but we are gonna soften it pretty good because once it hits the cold turkey, it will solidify again, and I wanna be able to spread it under the skin of the turkey. So I'm gonna soften it pretty good in the microwave. We're using about a stick of butter here. I have that Cajun seasoning, and then we're gonna add some more stuff to it. Let me soften the butter real quick. All right, we're gonna add some more salt to this. Probably about 2 teaspoons, sorry. Teaspoon and a half to 2 teaspoons. We're gonna add a little bit of black pepper. It was maybe half a teaspoon. I have this Green Goddess seasoning blend from Trader Joe's, and I'm just going with things that I think sound good with turkey. About a teaspoon of that. We have some rosemary. We're gonna be just a tad. That's about a quarter of a teaspoon there. This thyme I have got it from a local store. I think it's maybe a nationwide brand or something, but this stuff is potent. So we're not gonna use a lot of this either. It's about a half a teaspoon to a teaspoon. I'm gonna add some more garlic because I love garlic. Give this a mix. I guess my butter ended up melting all the way, but that'll be okay. So we have this yummy seasoning mixture. We're gonna slip this under the skin of the turkey. This is the breast, like I said. It does have the bone in here still, and we're gonna take this bone afterwards and we are gonna make some bone broth with it. And then I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do with our leftover turkey and the broth that we made so that you know what to do with your leftovers. But that'll be another video. So we're gonna just kind of pour all this in here under the skin. We'll massage it down into that meat so it gets all spread around. You can always inject your turkey. I find that when you want to really heavily season it, especially using those herbs, it doesn't really flow through the injector. So I brine the turkey and then do it this way. Going under the skin. Massage that all down in there under that skin. Let's see, we'll put some up this way. That pocket of seasoning there, it will melt all down into the turkey as it cooks. I'm gonna wash my hands. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do the outside of this to make it hopefully get a little bit of crispy crusty on it. All right, we're gonna pat it dry again just to make sure. And then this is just some avocado oil, and we're gonna spray that on the outside. We're kind of doing some research, and every time I usually just baste it with butter on the outside, and it doesn't seem to get crunchy or crispy. And so we saw somebody talking about trying to think of the guy's page. I think it's How to Barbecue Right, maybe is his page. He was talking about how butter kind of steams on it and doesn't get it crispy. So we're gonna use the avocado oil, and then I'm going to salt and pepper the outside. All right, and there is our bird ready to go on the smoker. When my husband's ready, we will take this out to the smoker and get it on there. Let me figure out how to open this. Okay, here we go. So here's the smoker. I did ask my husband. It was the How to Barbecue Right page.
Not the breed.
All right, he's going to tell you about how we're smoking this. He is putting this on a cooling rack going in here, so it's easier to pull it in and out. We did spray the cooling rack with oil so that it doesn't, it's less likely to stick.
So we're gonna smoke it for 40 minutes a pound. This is a 7.5 pound breast, bone in. We're gonna do it at 220 because I have to go in 10-degree increments on this smoker. So at 160, we're going to pull it out regardless. Carryover
Internal
cooking,
temperature.
correct, internal. That carryover cooking time is going to bring it up to 165 while it's resting. You need to rest for a little while just so the juices reabsorb. And then at some point I'm going to look at it when the temperature is internal, you know, close to 140 or 50, just to see what the skin is doing. And if it's still really light skin, I'm going to turn it up to like 275 or 280, something like that, just to hopefully crisp up the skin and get it a little bit less chewy skin.
But if it's dark?
But if it's dark, then we can just tint it with like aluminum foil or something like that, just to keep it from getting too brown. But usually when we're cooking chicken or whatnot, the skin is our biggest hurdle because it's always chewy.
All right, we'll see you back in a few hours. So our turkey is well on its way in the smoker. So we're going to go ahead and get our dressing or stuffing, whichever way you are going to prepare it, whether you're stuffing a bird or having it on the side. We're going to do it as a dressing today because it's going to be on the side. And we're going to go ahead and get this going so that they can be ready at about the same time. While I'm chopping vegetables for this dressing, I'm also going to go ahead and chop vegetables for what I need tomorrow. So we'll have our smoked turkey tonight, and I'm going to show you what we're going to do with our leftovers. I will video that tomorrow. We're going to be making some turkey gumbo, turkey and sausage gumbo. So I need onion, celery, bell pepper for that. I already have bell pepper chopped in the fridge, but I need the onions and celery for today. So I'll make extra for tomorrow. So we're going to get all that chopped up right now so I can be easier tomorrow and have it already all chopped. So let's go ahead and start chopping our vegetables. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get these onions peeled. And because I am chopping quite a few veggies today, I am going to use my vegetable chopper. I like to use it if I'm chopping a lot, but if I'm just chopping a few things, I don't typically use it. But we will use it today. So I need 1 onion for my recipe today, and then the other 2 will be for the gumbo tomorrow. And then we need 2 stalks of celery for today, and I have 3 stalks of celery for the gumbo tomorrow. I always peel onto a paper towel so it's easier to clean up. I just fold up the paper towel and throw it away. right, let's make these celery a good size to go in my chopper here. And let's see what we can do here. I find you really can't overload this or it won't chop. I'm not sure if that's the way these all are, or if that's just mine. But that's still a lot faster than chopping by hand. Let me put this in a bowl for today's. Well, I'll go ahead and do the onions for today also. See if it'll do all that. All right, this is all of our onion and celery for today. It's all pretty uniform dice. Now we'll go ahead and chop what I need for tomorrow. All right, we'll save that to the side. I need some garlic for today, so this is already peeled garlic, but I like to cut the little stem ends off of it. I don't need all that. We'll do 4 good cloves here. Oops. I'll put this aside, and I'm going to put this in a bowl because we're going to use our chopper for our apple that's going to go into our dish. I love how everything is a very uniform size, and this chopper comes with different size blades and all kinds of things. I really like it. All right, I'm gonna peel my apples real quick. I have 2, these are Cosmic Crisp, I think was the variety of these. You can use whatever apple you like. Probably should have waited to peel these and chop them so that they don't turn brown, but we're cooking them, so they should be okay. Even if you don't like apple, because I'm not a huge fan of just eating apple, I really like this dressing. It's really good. The apple kind of cooks down and just adds a little bit of a sweetness to it. So I'm just going to slice down around the core, and then we will chop these in our chopper. All right, we're going to move over to the stovetop, and now that all this is prepared, and we are going to get our breakfast sausage cooking. So my skillet is a little dirty here, but since I was cooking breakfast sausage for this, I went on and cooked up a pound of it, so it's in the refrigerator, ready to go. No need to dirty the skillet twice when we're going ahead and cooking this. So this is 1 pound of just pork breakfast sausage. We're going to get this browned up. I did take this recipe that I'm giving you. It would be, I guess, 4 slices of white bread. because if it's more of your stuffing, your bird, it's not a lot of breading. But because we're having this as dressing, I kind of went on and did a little bit more than the 4 slices. I actually did about 6 dinner rolls. Cubed them up, put them in a 350 oven for about 5 to 7 minutes, just till they're kind of toasty here. Get this browned up. So our sausage is browned up, and we're going to go ahead and add our vegetables in here. And then I'm going to crush our garlic into our skillet also. We just want to get these sweated down a little bit, because they will finish cooking down in the oven. We're going to go ahead and add our seasonings to this. If you're wanting to get that classic Thanksgiving seasoning, you could add sage, but I'm not doing that tonight. We're going to be adding 2 teaspoons of dried rosemary. Actually, we'll do 1.5 teaspoons. And then 1 teaspoon of thyme. We're going to add some salt. That'll help draw out the moisture on those vegetables also. We're going to add some black pepper. Stir this around. I'm going to go ahead and add our apples in here. I'm going to add a little bit of butter for some flavor. That was about 2 tablespoons maybe. Maybe I'll add another tablespoon, because we're going to add that bread into here too. And now we're going to add a little bit of chicken broth. Those vegetables will give us some liquid, but I'm going to add some chicken broth. Let me see, just so I can let you know. Let's add a cup, and we'll see where we're at with our bread. I'm not sure if my dish is big enough. Let me get a bigger dish. I don't know if I can really mix my bread into here, so I'm going to put my bread in here and then move that on top of it. Turning my fire off. I do have my oven preheated to 350. And everything's cooked. We just want to bring this all together and get some yummy crispy bits on our bread. Let me pour this liquid here. Give this all a stir. All right, that looked like a perfect amount of moisture for the bread. All right, we're gonna pop this in the oven. I'm gonna kind of guess about 20 minutes. I'll let you know at the end how long it was in the oven. And so we'll be back when it's time to taste test everything. So our turkey has come out of the smoker. It's got a nice bark to it, and it's been resting here. So we're gonna kind of cut it off the bone, and then we're gonna slice it. I gotta figure out. I feel like there's wing bones on here too. So we're just gonna wing it. You know why I'm kind of confused is I would typically have it this way. Super moist, super juicy. I'm gonna use the electric knife to slice it so that we can keep the skin with each slice. All right, we are gonna serve some of this up on a plate with our dressing. So here is our dressing out of the oven. I'm gonna get a nice scoop of that dressing. And then we'll get a few slices of this turkey. Like this. And we're gonna get a taste test. All right, we're gonna give it a taste test. My dad always smoked turkey when I was growing up, and that was always my favorite. Another thing to do in Louisiana is to fry your turkey, but to me, fried turkey kind of gets dry. I really like the smoked turkey. Get a bite of this dressing real quick, or stuffing, whatever you want to call it. It's piping hot out of the oven. Blow it off a little bit. I like the crunchy bits of the bread on there. The sweetness from those apples. It's really good. Savoriness to that sausage. Turkey. Super moist. That is so good. A little spicy. Like I told you, that cayenne I have right now is super spicy. But we like spicy, so it's perfect for us. That's really good. I hope you give these recipes a try. We will be taking our turkey, carcass, and we'll be turning it into yummy gumbo tomorrow. So stay tuned to the next video if you want to check out how to make gumbo with your leftovers. I also have, I'm not sure if I'll link it in this video or the next one, where I made a turkey pot pie with the leftover turkey from Thanksgiving. So that's also another option with your turkey. So I'll pop up some videos over here for you to check out, and I'll put my logo on this side that you can touch and subscribe very easily, and we will see you next time. Thanks for watching.